Yeah.
It's sort of self-contained.
Yeah, it's a very brief thing.
Yeah, but she does something.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't just walk out of a car after getting fucked.
That's doing something.
They're doing someone.
Okay. Well, it looks like... Whoa, okay. Oh, wait, no, I'm way too high. Okay. Well, let's see.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Yeah.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Okay, well. Is this one I'm going to need alcohol for?
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
It's not that kind of episode.
No. This one's actually a fairly
Normal.
Yeah, it's like it was almost competent. So first off, right off the bat, they let us know this is going to be an Asian influence episode with the
the
very slow Asian. It's almost like that Hong Kong Phooey Asian jingle, but just slowed down at like half tempo.
Yeah. This is the obligatory Asian exploitation episode. Is basically what this episode.
Yeah,
Basically what.
And they let you know this right off the bat with the sound.
Oh, does Hoff get in a kimono?
No, but kimonos do feature.
They do feature prominently.
Yeah. So it starts off with there's like a mom and a little girl on like a payphone, and the mom is
Talking to somebody.
Yeah, she's dialed, and she says she has to be connected. Her call has to be routed through the Nagoya Exchange, and then the little girl's like just kind of wanders off because like the mom's on the phone.
Yeah, she's just like chilling out at the beach.
Yeah.
She sees a seagull.
Yeah, there's a seagull like trapped in a net. Somebody netted a seagull on the shore, and then just like, fuck you, seagull.
Either that or this dumbass seagull just got into a net.
I mean, either way.
Seagulls are certainly dumb.
And so she's like, oh, look at the seagull here. And then Hoff pulls up in his beach truck, lifeguard truck. And he's like, oh.
Want some candy, little girl?
And just runs right over that seagull.
Yeah.
No, he gets out and he starts talking to her and says, oh, let's help his seagull. And so he helps the seagull out of the net.
Yeah. Has her, like, feel his wings to see if his wing's broken or anything.
Yeah, do a little bonding over the seagull.
Yeah. We call it grooming.
Over this terrified bird.
Yeah. And then this black, obviously, mobster mobile pulls up on the mom. And they totally peel out next to her. Yeah.
And not peel out. They skid. They skid in next to her and open up the doors and run out. And she tries to bolt, but people come out, grab her.
Yeah, and these Yakuza toughs are like wearing the most ill-fitting suits I've seen.
They're very bad suits.
Like the one guy looked like he borrowed one of Hoff's suits, and he's like 5'4".
It's also unclear how many of them are Yakuza toughs. We'll get into that a little bit later, but there's at least one of them is.
Yeah, well, one suit was Haas, one suit was Ellerby's.
And so they grab her, and Hoff grabs the little girl, make sure she doesn't get snagged.
Yeah, and the when that happens, what is it? The lady tells her to run, and says her name, which is Mariko. Mm-hmm. And one of the dudes actually like licks a shot. He like pulls out a gun and shoots at Hoff.
But he shoots like into the sand.
Or the little girl. I'm not sure who he's trying to shoot at with, but he goes into the sand instead at her feet. And
so then they pull off, and then the mom also had a coat with her, and she dropped the coat. Wow, in the whole thing. And then we cut to credits, and this is the new thing I've thought to do. So all the episodes we watch are on YouTube, and they are ripped from German broadcasts.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because so it's really just the title that shows up as
it's just the title, which I finally decided to translate the title.
Oh,
because I was like, this is not the same title when I saw it. Because I was like, no. So this is Entführung auf Japanisch, which is that's right. Kidnapping in Japanese. The name in German. A much more straightforward name.
I mean, it's not. It's fairly accurate. To the plot of the.
They go with what's on the tin with them.
No. It is. The Germans are going to be very literal about it.
So Griff and Angie pull up to the beach. Hoff's there. He's talking to this woman detective, and there's like a bunch of reporters around, and he's explaining about what happened with the kidnapping, and Mariko is, she's scared. She doesn't want to go with the detective because they're like, all right, little girl, your mom's been kidnapped. You have to go with the cops. And she don't want to because Hoff has already groomed her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just attached to Hoff.
Yep. If it doesn't involve Hoff, they're a seagull.
So.
Yeah, that's true. This is 100% accurate.
That is exactly what she's about. You figured her out already.
Yeah. That's literally all of her characterization.
Well,
Hoff and seagulls.
That and she doesn't talk.
Yeah.
She, they try and
to
say something.
Yeah, that's later.
Yeah, but
she just don't want to go. And then Angie, she finds the coat, and she's like, "Oh, there's like this powder on it," and the detective's like, "Oh, is that like talcum?" And she's like, "No, it's like more coarse," and so that's pretty much all that really happens there. They do send Mariko with them to, like
Hoff goes with the detective to bring her to a safe place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of an arrangement there. And then back at night, Lou Rawls shows this is the weirdest fucking little 3-minute subplot I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is really weird.
Yeah, so Lou Rawls, he comes in, he just stops by. He says he's in town, and he talks to Donna, and tells her that there's some rich, tough, wannabe tough kids who are just going around and trashing bars, and they've decided their next target is Knights. I don't know why this is who fucking decides ahead of time. Next, we're gonna go to Night to trash Applebee's. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow after burgers.
They could just be going down the line for all one.
And so, Donna, goes up and lets Ellerby know, and then Ellerby, kind of acts like he's got a little bit of a plan. But he doesn't really.
I think Griff's there too.
Yeah, Griff is there.
Yeah, they do a thing where it's like, oh, there's dudes who's coming to mess up Nights, and so it's decided that they're gonna take care of it in house.
Yeah, and they're like,
kind of sounds like they're gonna murder this
I know. And then their actual plan did not require either of them.
No, yeah, that's a funny thing. It's the weirdest, most unimportant B plot I've ever seen.
It's also done in the first 15 minutes.
Right, yeah. It takes no time. There's really no purpose to it whatsoever.
Yeah. So,
well, they had to get 10 minutes out of that. So.
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just to burn a little bit more time.
Yeah. So, the toughs bring the mom to this. At first, I felt like he was a sergeant guy, but he kind of ends up being the boss guy of this.
Right, the kidnappers.
Yeah.
The kidnappers bring them.
Yeah. They bring up to this boss guy, and he wants to know why Mariko isn't there. And they're like, oh, the Hoff was there. It was by the beach. We couldn't take him.
You can't take the Hoff when he's 100 feet away from water.
Yeah.
He had the truck with him and everything.
Right, he had a truck that was by the water. He was 100% in.
Yeah, he could have thrown a seagull at us.
Yeah, you don't know. No, the actual reason is because they were at a crowded beach.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to fight a crowd.
Yeah.
A legitimately good reason, I guess.
Well, I mean, Hoff being next to the beach is just as good of a reason in this show.
In this show, yes. They would have stood no chance.
Yeah.
especially this part of a season half.
Yeah, no. It was first half of the season half, sure.
Now, all they needed was a bicycle.
Or like an order of French toast or something. Like
Right.
anything to take out the half. And
No, early
half.
on,
Yeah.
he was the weakest thing around. He was only strong when he was as weak as he could be.
Yeah, he's like a second edition wizard. It was like, first couple levels are rough, but after that. So, the detectives and Hoff bring Mariko to, like, it's like a youth home that's, like, run by some nuns. And she doesn't want to go, but Hoff's like, gotta go, it'll be cool.
So yeah, she ends up
getting kind of dreaded. She's, like, looking back the whole time. But she goes ahead, and then Hoff and Angie kind of discuss their next move, how they're gonna like work this kidnapping thing, even though they're not officially hired for anything. They're in ass deep in this already.
Yeah.
And so we cut back to the B plot, and this is where we're gonna wrap it up immediately.
Yeah.
It's all A plot from here. This group of Orange County jabronis come in and they really act like
They're basically like generic frat douches is the short version.
they're like villains from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Like there's three of them. One of them there's muscular one, the schlubby looking one, and Blondie as I dubbed him.
Yeah.
The Blondie who's the leader who has all the spoken lines.
Yeah.
So
there's
it's
Dollar
really
Store Zach Morris.
So it's literally bizarro versions of the actual protagonist from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Except like
There's like
Schlubby is no Screech.
He's Bizarro Screech.
Yeah, it's true. He is wearing a like ridiculous shirt.
And then the other guy is like Wario Lopez.
Yeah, he is Wario Lopez. That's good. That's very good. That's perfect.
Oh, Wario Lopez.
That is perfect. He's Wario Lopez. Wow.
So they just show up and they're just acting like douches at this point. They're not like causing any real trouble or anything.
Yeah, they're not like smacking. They're not like knocking over tables or whatever. Like Blondie just walks in and like just takes a drink off of some serving girl's tray. It's like, yeah, this is mine now.
Yeah,
and then they
serving girl, you mean waitress?
Yeah, serving girl. And I mean, this is nice. It's a serving girl. And then they just go play, and they immediately go to play pool.
Yeah.
All right.
And so Donna walks up to him and like introduces herself, and so immediately they're just all in because she's Donna, so she's just generic hot blonde.
Right.
And then proceeds to do the most obvious pool shark ever.
Right. It's really
like she's like she like grabs a cue and is like talking to him and just like winging shots all over the place. And then she's like, I'll make you guys a deal. I don't even remember the thing that if they won, I don't remember what it was.
It was something along the lines of she hangs out with them or she dates them.
Something.
It was something along the lines of where
she's selling her body for a pool.
Yeah.
Right. It was something along those lines, and
I believe the stakes would leave the bar a gangbang.
Pretty much. That was pretty much. Knowing Donna, she's probably fine with either. So it's win-win for her. She can't lose in this equation.
Yeah. She wants some of that sweet Wario Lopez.
What is it? And then what is it? She does a thing where she's like, I know who you are. I know what you're here for.
Yeah.
Let's play pool. And they make and like Cliff was saying, she makes a show of not being good at pool, and she makes it seem like Ellerby's gonna play pool.
Yeah.
Because they're there too.
Yeah.
It's even clear that if these people try anything, the whole bar will fucking jump them.
Yeah.
Like, because Ellerby and Griff show up, like, right behind
Yeah,
Donna,
and then everybody,
then everybody else stands up in the bar. So it's like, okay, yeah, if these three assholes try anything, they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
They have no teeth anymore.
Yeah. There might be a backpack full of grenades under the bar. You don't know.
You don't fucking know. This night is wild.
And so, like, they go, okay, and Ellerby's like, what's your game? And they're like, 8 ball, call shots, no slop. And then, he's like, oh, it's not me, it's her. And then, like, he basically does the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing, where he pulls out the case with the cue and puts it together for Donna.
Well, he
Give me Charlie.
Yeah,
right, precisely. It's, like I think he pulls out and puts it together, and he's holding it while they're discussing the terms, and then he just gives it to Donna instead.
Yeah.
And then she just smokes him.
Yeah, she just runs the table on him.
Yeah, they're done and they leave.
Because once again, Ellerby, ultimate wingman. He
is really cool in this episode. Just being Ellerby.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot, but he's like
there. At least I forget the point. I forget the exact point now. But there was one point where I was like, "Damn, Ellerby's real cool in this episode."
Well, do Ellerby and Donna show up in the A plot at all?
Ellerby does.
Ellerby does. Yeah, Donna's done.
Donna's done. She did.
She's dead now.
she looked pretty and she played pool. That's better.
And she wore a tiny dress.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So the detective lady calls Hoff and she's like, do you have the kid?
Yeah. She totally accuses Hoff of stealing this kid.
Yeah. And Hoff's like, no, I dropped her off. And they're like, well, she's gone. She's gone now.
She's apparently just ran away.
Yeah. And, yeah, so now that's the thing. Now the kid's gone. And now we get the, now we get the steer hard into Asian stereotype stuff. Because next is the old Asian guys in suits watching
Geisha
do a dance, and they're like at a. It's not like they're by like basically like a koi pond.
The location that they're at is related to the company that they're part of.
Yeah,
which we'll get into in a bit, but obviously Japanese company, and they have a sort of Japanese garden.
Yeah.
A real big one.
Yep.
Nice looking. Mm-hmm. And this is also where they took Mariko's mother.
Yep.
Whose name
escapes. They say it like once or twice, not as much as Mariko.
Right. So yeah, they're just sitting. They're sitting in this garden, watching Geisha do their thing. Somebody's playing Koto.
Yeah.
Great.
And so then the boss guy from earlier approaches like this older guy, and
were they at least all Japanese, or did we?
I doubt that all these people are Japanese.
Yeah, but
they don't linger on a lot of these people. Certainly, there's 100% some Koreans in this episode, and I think the lady who runs the I could be wrong. I think the lady who runs the kimono shop, which will come up later.
Yeah, we haven't got to the geisha story yet.
Yeah, I think the lady who runs the kimono shop is Filipino, but just based off of her accent.
So yeah, the boss guy from earlier, he approaches his older guy, lets him know what's up with the kidnapping situation, and so at first you're like, oh, he's reporting to like a senior officer.
Well, yeah, and he sort of is.
Yeah, but then it's like he's also this boss guy has come directly from Japan, and he's like, the boys back home are worried about you fucking this thing up, because there was like a murder, and there's a disc that the mom had. That has basically all the evidence ever for every crime ever.
for all their wrongdoings.
Yeah.
And what is it? And the boss guy, as you mentioned before, is is the confirmed Yakuza guy, and then the older dude is the person who's in charge of this company, which is legit but shady.
Yeah.
And so it's basically the Yakuza guy going, "Yeah, I work for you, but also I don't work for you exactly. Yeah. I work for my bosses."
Yeah. And so it's already the org chart's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And this is where there's at least one confirmed Yakuza guy, who's that guy, and everybody else possibly just works for the company.
Maybe it's hard to say.
It's hard to say how many of them are how many of them are actual thugs.
Yeah. So they go over. They go to where they're holding the mom, and start interrogating her, and they have basically their torture device. This agonizer machine is basically, it's like 2 electrodes that go on her temples, and then like a car alarm fob.
It looks a little bit better than a car alarm fob.
No, it looks like it's actually a car alarm fob.
But no, yeah, it's real. It's real not good.
It might be a garage door opener.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
Yeah. It's a bit bigger than a car alarm fob.
No, he's got it in his hand. Yeah. You gotta remember what they looked like back then.
A back then car alarm fob.
I'm not saying it's from now. I'm saying I think they just grabbed off car alarm fob.
Sure. Sure.
Taped a couple electrodes to it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and
it's like it's really just where's the disc? I'm not gonna tell you where the disc is. Well, we're gonna torture you. I'm not gonna tell you where the disc is. End scene.
Yeah, they're like, all right, time to hit the torture button, and then cut. Right. And so Hoff is combing the streets. He's just running through Chinatown.
I just got a picture of the comb the deserts.
Right. Yeah. Hoff just literally rolling down the streets looking for a little girl.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
he's driving down the streets. He's talking to people with pictures of her.
Talking to people with pictures of her.
Hey, hello, I'm Mariko. Have you seen me?
That's exactly how it goes.
That's how it should have.
Yeah.
When Hoff is just a crazy person.
He's like, wait, maybe they don't speak English. I know. Hello.
Yeah, that is the funny thing. Up to this point, as I mentioned before, Mariko hasn't talked. Yeah. None of them have bothered to try and figure out if she speaks English.
They've asked her. Hoff asked her if she speaks English, but she didn't answer.
Yeah,
and so he just assumed she doesn't.
Right,
which makes sense. It 100% makes sense. If you go, do you speak English? And you get no answer, you're like, hey, I probably don't speak English.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just going around, and then you also see Mariko kind of running around the streets, looking, just like
she's just running.
Yeah.
Through the streets,
and she ends up hiding behind some trash cans at some point, and then she finds this kimono store. This evidently Filipino-run kimono store.
For all your Filipino kimono needs.
Yeah. And so it just.
But it looks like she recognizes it because she runs up to it.
Yeah. And at this point, I thought it was like, oh, maybe this is like an ant or something. Turns out it's not, but it seemed like that at the time.
But yeah, she runs up to it, knocks on the door.
And yeah. The lady's like, oh, Mariko, come in. Where's your mom? What's going on? And then, meanwhile, the boss guy is also looking. But he does it in a much more efficient way. Where he just goes up to some Asian dude just hanging out in the corner. He's like, hey, would you like to make some money? And he just gives him like a picture of Mariko with a $100 bill, just paperclip to the back. And he's like, I'm looking for her, ask around. And call me at this number when you learn anything. So he's not wasting time on this shit. He's looking hire out somebody else to do this.
Thanks, mister. He immediately goes to the bar.
I know. I'm assuming that this guy knows who the boss guy is and knows not to just like take his money and do nothing. That's what I'm assuming.
Well,
Because-
personally, I'm thinking that he just went around and did that for several people, and he just
could
doesn't-
be.
and just 100. He don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, yeah, it's not... I mean, it's 1994 hundreds, but it's still, yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah. I'm assuming this guy is Yakuza rich, so he's
Yeah.
like, whatever. I'll throw 100 on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Then, it's like the next day, and, back at night, Hoff is talking to Angie, and he's like, I looked all over Little Tokyo for her, and I'm all out of ideas now. I looked for an Asian in the Asian place. That's all.
Yeah, that's a funny thing too. Is he immediately goes there, like because he could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially since he assumed that they were tourists.
Right. There's no. It seems from all the information that they have is that she's not a local.
Yeah.
So there's no real reason why she would have like family there or anything like that. But
Yeah. He's like, all the Asians go there.
Right.
That's where I see all the Asians.
Yeah. Well, it's like a river where, the tributaries all meet up. It's like all Asians go to the...
all roads lead to Little Tokyo if you're in it.
Yeah.
Really confuses the Chinese people. Like, why are we here? You should be in Little Chinatown. Doesn't make sense. The Chinatown is over there.
Why is there a little town? Why can't it just be Chinatown?
Well, there's Little Chinatown and there's Chinatown. Little Chinatown is larger than Chinatown, weirdly enough.
They originally it was East Chinatown and West Chinatown, but...
Then the wall fell down and Hop sang at it.
That's canon, I think.
So
It's Baywatch canon.
he shot it down with the Baywatch cannon. Free East Chinatown.
Boy. Anyway.
So, yeah, and so there's this old bald Asian guy who's totally eavesdropping on them as they're going through this. And Angie,
Also kind of weird, too, because he's like the only other person at the bar.
yeah,
It's like just them and Angie and Hoff.
Yeah.
Just him and Angie and Hoff.
and so Angie lets Hoff know that she ran some samples. She's like, I nicked a little bit of that powder, and she's like, it's basically geisha powder.
Yeah. It's like it's some makeup that only geisha use.
Yeah, because it's like made out of rice and so then Hoff's like, he just gets up and he just walks over to the old guy and he's like, what's going on, man? He totally...
Well, yeah, because the guy's been like eyeing them.
Yeah,
the whole time.
it's not even like he's like trying to be coy about it. He's like looking at him. He's like, what's going on? And he-
Kawaii Japanese. Anyway.
I got a fish face.
Oh.
He's like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
he's just swimming around under the table,
Anyway, yeah, no. So,
popping up to eat mosquitoes. And so it turns out the guy is Mariko's grandfather. He's like a retired Japanese Navy captain.
and he's the person who Mariko's mother called.
Yep. So he was trying to make sure that Hoff was actually Hoff, because he had a newspaper with him talking to the press after the kidnapping, and so he came straight from fucking Japan, and yeah, so he's ready to team up with the Hoff on this. He lets him know that his daughter was a geisha who came to the U.S. And so that's who he.
Well, this is the part that seems weird to me. Like, just is that she worked as, I think he said she worked as a geisha for like 20 years, and until her husband died, and then she went to the U.S.
to work as a geisha.
Is there any known people in this, or is it just like all randos?
As far as like,
Oh, as far as actors?
yeah,
Oh no, 100%.
Well, I think the
because I could totally see Gerald Nakamura. Or
the
something
old
like
guy,
this.
the older guy who ran the. He's been in stuff. I couldn't.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's been in stuff, but I couldn't I've seen him in stuff, but I couldn't, like...
I'm just... Because this totally sounds like a Gerald Nakamura role. Let me look up real quick.
I'm not saying he's been in good stuff. Like, most of the people seem like a whole lot of nobodies.
It was funny. We did mention, like, the last time how we're like, there's, like, going to be 3 actual Japanese people, and then the rest are... And when they pulled up with the car, I was like, oh, there's 3 actual Japanese people. Because that's how many they showed initially.
Yeah.
But, like, the...
And then they introduced...
I gotta look at that.
What's probably a whole lot more.
Yeah, there's... Is that where I recognize this guy from? What? Did I recognize this motherfucker from Beverly Hills Ninja? The older guy was Soontek O. Who was...
This is the grandpa?
No. He's the older...
the business guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was also in 5 episodes of MASH.
Nah, okay.
That could be 2. I definitely didn't recognize him from Stargate. That's for damn sure. Oh shit, he's on Life with Louie? Yeah. And then, like... Let's see... I mean, they're like... A lot of these guys were like the guys who were like not main people and stuff. The grandpa was on an episode of Walker Texas Ranger. He was in Mortal Kombat, but as just like a priest. Not anybody important. Oh man.
What is it? The grandpa, I guess, is John Fujioka.
There's a couple people who do stunts. A lot. But yeah, there wasn't anybody.
All right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So, nobody super. Yeah, it was...
Okay.
Nice.
Anyway, where was we?
Grandpa.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's this weird story about her being a geisha and then also coming here to also work as a geisha.
Yeah, part of the because she came there to work as a geisha, but her husband died, but is the husband the one who stole the disc? It's really not really.
Well, because because there was a murder earlier that they mentioned, so maybe it was the husband getting murdered. Yeah,
they really don't clear up that information.
No,
it's just that she had a husband and he died, and then she went to the U.S. to also be a geisha.
And so Hoffa's like, "Oh, does Mariko speak English?" And grandfather's like, "Yeah, she's like top of her class in English.
Yeah,
she's totally fucking great at English."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, well, she hasn't said anything." And he's like, "Oh, I only mean one thing. She pledged a code of silence to her mother."
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because that's the reason why kids don't talk.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the first time an episode has been said. The episode title said out loud.
Probably. Yeah.
This guy loves to say things dramatically too. The way he said it.
He does say a lot of shit very dramatically. To be fair, that is his job.
Yeah. So Hoff and the grandpa go back to Little Tokyo again because again it's the only place Hoff knows to look for Asians. And then Angie calls and lets him know that basically she's like, I looked into looking up this
You were looking at the geisha things.
into geisha stuff. She's like, there's a lot of places that do kimonos, but there's only one place that does the wigs, the geisha wigs. And she's like, So
The way she talks about the wigs is really
yeah,
weird.
she like describes them.
Like
You know the wigs, they're like shiny black wigs, and
like she doesn't think it's a wig or something. It's weird.
yeah. And she goes into a weird. It's not like a ton of detail, but she goes weirdly into detail about them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as if you don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
yeah. You can just say wig, Angie. It's okay.
Well, she did her research and she looked it up and she's really excited.
Yeah. I mean, this was pre-Wikipedia, so
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Even Wikipedia, you go down that rabbit hole and then you're like, and they use this type of powder. But yeah, okay.
So she gives him the address, and so the guys are going, and Angie's already like there, and so she talks to the owner, and the owner is like, Angie's like, oh, I'm a private detective, and she's like, oh, you work for the Hoff? Oh, fucking come on in.
Yeah, it really is it.
Yeah.
Do you know the Hoff? And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're cool then. You couldn't be lying about
Yep.
this.
No, there's no way this is a gang.
Nobody's
plotting.
lying about knowing the Hoff.
Yeah. It's in their eyes.
I mean, they may be murderers and criminals, but they're not going to lie about knowing the Hoff.
Yeah.
That's just beyond a pale.
Meanwhile, the guy that they showed getting the money earlier from the boss guy, he's found out what's going on. They didn't show him learning this information, but he's got enough information to call the gangsters and say, "Oh, she's here, this place." So the Yakuza toughs show up before Hoff and the grandpa do, and they they break down the door, and Angie pulls out her gun, and then has a little bit of a standoff, and then the Yakuza boss guy is like, I mean, it's just gonna get ugly if you don't just give up. We're just,
Yeah, we're just going to kill you.
yeah, we don't give a shit.
There's three of them. There's
Yeah.
one of you.
And Angie's like, yeah, I guess that's true. And so Angie just gives up. And Hoff kind of notices, shit's gone awry.
Yeah,
When he pulls up because the door.
Yeah, the right around then is Hoff and
Yeah.
Hoff and Grandpa get there.
Yep. And so he tells the grandpa to stay there. Grandpa don't want to. But Hoff just straight bum rushes.
Yeah. Grandpa wants to crack skulls. But,
Yeah.
So while they're bringing Mariko into their car, Hoff just knocks the dude carrying her, or dragging her, or whatever, over, and then picks her up and just cheeses.
So what it looks like from the outside is there's some Asians bringing a young girl to a car, and a white guy just shows up and just knocks him over, grabs the little Asian girl, and starts running down the street with her in
Just
his
straight up
arms.
steals a little girl.
Yeah,
That's really.
and then the two more Asian dudes just start chasing him down.
It's 100% what it looks like.
Yeah.
Of course,
And
the
then
context.
Yakety Sax starts playing, and
It might as well. This is one of the worst chase scenes in the show.
Yeah.
There's been several chase scenes in the show. This was.
And he's just...
Yeah, it's just him running away, and they're running after him.
Yeah. And so, for a while he's holding her, and then at some point he puts her down. They don't show that, but then later he's running with holding her hand. And, it goes on for a little longer than it really should. Mm-hmm. But he basically he flags down a cab. He gets in the cab, and he catches the cab back to where the chase started.
Yeah, it's some real Ferris Bueller shit. Yeah, he gets just enough ahead of him that he can catch a cab.
Yeah.
And when they turn the corner, he's just gone.
Yeah. No, it's a really good Spectre Ops move, is what it is. And so,
As I said, Ferris Bueller shit. Same thing.
he could be anywhere. He just drives right past him.
and so he brings back, and then the granddad and Mariko get reunited, and then
That would be great if she's like, that's not my grandpa.
then he's like, yeah, who's a job?
That would have been an excellent twist.
Yeah.
Because she's willing. Because she actually talks now.
Yeah, and then they go in the back and find Angie and the store owner tied up back there, and the store owner, her name is Lily because this place's name is like Lily's.
Yeah, that's the name of the store.
Yeah.
At least.
She knows where the geisha work, and the grandpa is like, oh, if you get the cops involved, my daughter's just dead. They're just gonna kill her. Which makes the next part kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because then the next scene is back at night upstairs in the agency. Mariko's she's happy as a clam because Hoff got her Carl's Jr. in a Snapple.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You could do worse. Could do worse.
Could do worse.
And Ellerby's like, oh, I talked to my pal at the Asian Investigations Unit of the LAPD.
Yeah, is that a specific thing? That's
I know. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this World War II? Are these the guys sending them to the camps?
Well, that was the thing. Is like, are they? Is it the Special Investigation Group for Asians, or is it the Special Investigation Group of Asians?
Well, that doesn't exist. It's the LAPD.
Yeah.
Is it the people that crack their skulls?
No.
Or is it the people that send them away?
I'm saying, do they put all their Asians in this one special investigation group, or are they people who specifically investigate Asians? It could be both. To be fair.
But yeah. And so
Apparently they need a special investigation group because nobody knows what a fucking geisha wig is.
and she knows, damn it.
She knows now. She had to research about this shit. You could just say geisha wig, or you can't just look at a geisha and go, oh, he's wearing a wig. Geishas must do that.
So his Asian investigations lead has ID'd the boss guy as a member of the Japanese mob, and the grandpa's like, the Yakuza.
Yeah, the grandpa does interject random Japanese a little bit in conversations.
And lets him know like the business ties and basically what's going on. And it's like he's like, the warrant is gonna be ready in a few hours to storm the place. So it's like, okay, they're like if we get the cops involved, my daughter's dead. Good news. The cops will be there in a few hours.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's dead.
So Hoff's like, all right, we gotta go. Like, all right.
What is it? The interjecting like random Japanese, by the way, is like when he mentions the code of silence. Like as soon as he like turns to him and goes, "Samurai Budo," and so apparently. They're a samurai family, so I mean that's information that you learn.
Yeah, and they back it up.
They do reference that a little bit later when they return to the torture, which is around now, I think.
Well, yeah. Next, because they're going to rescue the daughter, and so or the mom, depending on how you want to say it.
Yes.
And the lady. So she's looking pretty rough after her. After the last round with the key fob.
Yeah, they return to the torture, and it's like just bags under her eyes.
Yeah, she's got like full on raccoon eyes.
She's looking shitty.
Yeah, the key fob really does a number on your makeup.
Yeah. Or adds really bad makeup on it, just makeup to make you look bad.
Well, they just have Venkman on the other side with flashcards.
It's just a raccoon eyes gun, just bam! And, shit, you're looking real smoky now. And so,
it would be better if it just didn't work, so they just started punching her.
I mean, for all we know, that's what happened. Because like literally, there was no kind of between.
No,
Key fob doesn't work.
no, they just take it and just whip you in the face with it on the end of the lanyard. Shit.
The funny thing for me was if you take the scenes where it goes from where it goes from her to when she next shows up, it's basically they put the electrodes on her, and then next scene, and then she's just like, all bags under her eyes.
That's exactly what happens. So the boss comes in, and he's like threatening her with the gun, and then
yeah, he's done with the electrodes.
It's
gun time.
Yeah. And then she totally she's like no, and so he's like points the gun and it shoots the old guy, like the business leader guy.
Yeah, the older business guy. He's trying to like convince her to. He's still trying to convince her to say. But then the Yakuza dude just shoots him.
Yeah,
it's really kind of random. Honestly.
Yeah, and then she like spits on him, and I was like, I maybe would have told him. I'm not gonna tell you, piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so then we get the super sweet Hoff and Ellerby go on their ninja raid sequence.
Yes. This is the real point of the episode, by the way.
Yeah. This is totally some co-op Tenchu action.
Exactly what I was thinking. They full on start playing Tenchu.
Yeah.
So they throw down the ground mochi.
If they had mochi, it would be 100% AB suit.
Yeah. So like, oh no, the spit happens a little later. I got ahead of myself on the spit. Yeah. Because it happens real close. So they show Hoff and Ellerby getting over the fence or over the wall, and
into the Japanese garden.
Yeah, and then
which is of course one of the best places to have fights.
Yeah,
in general.
So they both they do the double takedown Tenchu style. They both sneak up behind the guy. Yeah, and they're completely and totally 100% red shirts. They literally have like the same jackets on and plain red shirts underneath.
Yeah.
They could be beating up a class of school children.
They could be.
And then right now the boss, and then it cuts to the boss. This is where she gets spit on because he's doing he's Russian roulette interrogating her. He's like,
yeah,
click, there's a bullet in here somewhere. You better tell me. And she's like, puh. And then this is where she where it goes into the samurai bit.
Yeah, he says something. I forget what he says exactly. Something about how she's a peasant, basically.
Yeah.
Something about how...
Yeah. They're supposed to be like a family of like leaders or something, and basically calls her a pleb.
It's that she... She has something about like she has the blood of a noble, but the mind of a peasant. Something like
some shit like that.
Mind of a peasant was definitely the phrase.
And so Hoff and Ellerby continue to just fucking.
It's the much worse Eye of the Tiger. It's the mind of the peasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While this is going on, Hoff and Ellerby are working their way through doing various takedowns on various guards.
And then at one point...
Some of the takedowns are pretty funny.
Yeah. And then at one point, a non-red shirt guy... Because, like, Ellerby takes out, like, two dudes. He's like, doing some sweet...
That's one where he just sort of comes out of the bamboo and just squares up with them.
Yeah.
That's a very funny one to me because Ellerby totally sneaks up on this guy. But he instead of like going after him, he just sort of squares up on him, and so the dude turns around like starts and kicks at him, and then another dude comes up behind Ellerby, and he just beats them both up.
Yeah, but then a non-red shirt guy gets like the drop on him, pulls a gun on him, and then the grandpa comes out wielding a stick like a samurai sword, and just like smacks the gun away, and then like wraps the stick around the guy's neck and has him in a chokehold, and like basically gives him like the thumbs up, like keep going, buddy. Yeah. To Ellerby. He's like, I got this guy. Totally gonna murder him with this stick.
Yeah. Grandpa has to get his legs in. He's been itching for a fight the whole time.
Yeah,
frankly.
He has. He's like the only way, and so Hoff does like a little because this is right before they split up, because they were together, and then Hoff's like, I got a plan, and everybody's like, how long can you hold your breath? That happened right before this, but then they show Hoff like distracting somebody by shaking like a bamboo shoot. So they see the motion. At first, I thought, oh, maybe they see it, see him like getting ready or something, but no, it's just him just grabbing it. And so he goes over to investigate, but then they don't show him like looking around. The next part is he's like just sitting on a bridge over the little pond area, and Hoff just like jumps out of the water and just grabs him and is like, ah! He grabs him and pulls him back into the water.
Total water takedown thing. He pressed the shit out of that square button.
Yeah, and the thing is once the Japanese guys hit the water, they're done. Like, there's
it's Hoff in water.
He just puts him in the water and then leaves him.
Yeah, and that's it.
He doesn't fight him.
No, that ends it.
What I've determined is that they just know that they're like, oh well, I landed in the water, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's the rules.
It's like airsoft, and you hold up your arm and you walk back to base, get a sandwich and some orange slices.
It reminds me of, they had this one Best of the Worst movie that they were, I read other media that it was at like a pool party and they were fighting and they kept throwing people into the pool. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the people were in the pool, they were like done. To the point of, they had one guy that was just like there and he thought the scene was over and started to get out. And he was like, oh, and goes back down and puts his arm.
It's basically that.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I think they do that in slow mo, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a slow mo water takedown.
Yeah. When he jumps out and he does like a roaring, growling thing too. He's like, "Rah!"
Yeah, he does. He totally gives a little shout when he does it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's well, I mean, it's where he's most powerful.
Yeah, and so now you gotta watch out because Hoff he's buffed himself now.
Right.
He's drenched in water. So his next plan is he just runs and they have like, this is obviously just the stunt wall, because they have more sturdy wood up, but they have just the little twig and paper wall up for him to just run and just jump through, take somebody down. And like the boss guy comes out, pulls a gun. I was like, "Fuck a gun!"
Well, that was a funny point too, because remember the Yakuza dude is doing
playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, doing the Russian roulette. So he actually gets a beat on Hoff, pulls the trigger like 3 times.
Yeah,
click, click, click.
Yeah,
and then Hoff knocks the gun out of his
hand.
So
and then they're like,
if any one of those was a bullet, Hoff is dead,
or at least severely injured.
Yeah.
So they're fighting for a bit. The boss guy gets like a sword.
Immediately convenient katana just right above his head. Just pulls it out.
Of course, it's just up on the wall. So he just like pulls it out. I was like, "Fuck your sword, dude! I don't give a shit. I'm wet, motherfucker."
It's true. He's too wet, and then he just throws. He's too wet. He can't be defeated.
Yeah.
He's been. So he just chucks this dude out a window. And into the water.
He just throws it in the water. Now he's dead.
He's in the water. He's out. He knows the rules. You don't lie about knowing Hoff.
Yeah.
When you're in the water, you're out.
Well, everybody knows that it's just like video game logic. Once you hit the water, you're dead.
Yeah.
Right.
It's bottomless and no one can swim. That's koi food now, baby.
Except for the Hoff and the cat burglar there.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And Johnny Snorkelman.
Well, he's a snorkel man. If he didn't have his snorkel,
yeah, he'd be fucked.
That's special equipment. That's equipment that gives you the ability to be in the water.
Yeah, that's why he could drown that guy with his snorkel as the only difference. 6 inches between death.
He's a very specialized assassin. Yeah. He knows his craft and he knows it well.
Yeah. He's especially dangerous in like mangrove swamps. Sounds like a G.I. Joe villain.
It really does.
Yeah. Swamp Gator gonna get you.
Well, the thing about it too is it sounds like a G.I. Joe villain, but it's all about like legit straight up murder.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit too dark to be an actual G.I. Joe villain.
It'd be a villain from the comic. He'd be a comic exclusive villain.
Yeah, just the right combination of silly and lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. Any case.
Yeah. Either that or he'd be in like Frank Miller's version of the Spirit.
Frank Miller. G.I. Joe by Frank Miller.
That'd be a thing.
In any case, yeah, that's pretty much it for
Yep.
the conflict. Conflict resolved.
Yep. Right over. So the next scene is the family is like saying goodbye and thank you to the gang. So like
Yeah, I guess
no.
They already said goodbye to the gang.
Yeah.
And now they're saying goodbye to...
Yeah, they all hit the water. They're dead now.
Yeah. They're dead to the light. They're banished. They're
Yeah.
exiled. They have to go live in shame.
Yeah. Well,
It's Yakuza rule. If you get thrown into the water, you cut off your pinky and you have to leave.
yeah. Now you're in fucking pachinko machine duty. Them's the rules. No, so they're saying goodbye to Hoff and everybody. And, like, the grandpa pulls out this fucking huge ass
Box.
case, yeah. Hoff's like, what? And he's like, oh, I gave you swords. You get swords now.
Yeah.
And Hoff's like, I can't take these. He's like, no. These swords aren't given. They're earned.
Yeah.
He's like, you are the samurai of Malibu now.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't say that, but
No,
it's implied.
He doesn't say that.
He specifically says that the samurai swords are not given; they're earned.
And that
Yeah,
he has samurai spirit. Something
Yeah.
along those lines.
and so I'm seriously, even though I'm pretty sure it's not. I hope from now on he just
He
solves
walks
his problem with samurai swords.
Yeah. See, in a better show, he just walks around with a sword now.
Yeah,
he just sits on the Baywatch. They should just bring it into regular Baywatch. He just always has just a sash with the swords on it with his trousers.
no. If we play like any kind of like. If we play Shadowrun, my character is going to be a guy with a sword and a backpack full of grenades. And you can be his smooth-talking black friend in a chicken suit.
I mean, I'd do it. I'd do it. I just don't know. How do you make a character as cool as Ellerby? And see, that's the thing. Ellerby has gotten even cooler recently in the recent episodes.
Like, the thing about Ellerby is he's always cool being second fiddle in every situation. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, do you need to talk about, like, running away from home and banana sandwiches? Mm-hmm. Ellerby's your man. Do you need to go on a ninja raid? Ellerby's your man.
What is it? Do you need to intimidate the Irish mafia?
Yeah.
Ellerby's your man.
No matter what hijinks anybody else gets up to, mm-hmm. Ellerby's your guy. He's there to give you advice on what to eat on a stakeout.
How to grill your chicken.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
No. He's the perfect jack of all trades. He's like, I'm always there to be the second best at anything. Mm-hmm. Anybody else in the gang?
He is the ultimate lancer.
Yeah. No matter what configuration. Oh, we're operation is combat. He's there. He's your second guy. If somebody needs to be in drag, Ellerby's gonna be Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always got your back. And so Marie goes down at the beach, and Hoff goes to get her, and
It picks up for him.
yeah, he grabs her and just starts running away. He's like, I got you, bitch. No.
That'd be great if that was the ending and it just did like the little closed circle.
That would be funny, but no. Instead,
No. He gives like Mariko's like feeding a whole bunch of seagulls.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, and because they're seagulls, she's just surrounded by them.
right.
Looks like the origin of a supervillain.
True.
Might be.
And
This is Baywatch Nights. This could have come back.
No. This is Baywatch Nights. This will never come back.
No.
Again, you're thinking of a better show. Like we said,
Yeah.
this is that in the show where he walks around with a sword from now on.
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
But no, not
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah, like in the Shadowrun campaign, there could be a shaman girl who just has fucking bird spirits all
Right.
around her.
A bird shaman, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
and Hoff the street samurai with his backpack full of grenades.
Angie, she could be a Decker, but probably not. She's more Decker than anybody else.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, and then Hoff has like a gift for her. He gives her like a little like seagull figurine that's like, you know, probably like 6 inches or so.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Thank you, Hoff. I love you." And he's like, "I love you too." And then that's the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there was some really cool stuff in this episode.
I mean, it has Ninja Raid.
Yeah. And this, like, earlier in the season, I feel like it would have been a lot wackier with how they try to solve this. But this time, both Hoff and Ellerby just get to kick a whole bunch of people's asses.
Yeah.
And it does sound like it has some cute things, like him doing the whole calling the car to, or the taxi
right.
to get
Yeah.
rid of him. So, I guess
In the comment section on YouTube, a lot of people say this is their favorite episode. But
It's an odd choice for a favorite episode, I think.
yeah, I don't think it's that. But it's definitely again a higher grade than some of the kind of that bland spot we had in the middle for a while.
Mm-hmm.
so. What are we? So let's see. What's our highest right now? It's like 6.75.
7.5 is the highest.
So 6.
Last week was 7.23. The question is really, let's see. I think it's higher than a 6. 6 was the phone sex episode. That's but then let's see. Deadly Vision was 6.82, and
Deadly Vision.
Just a Gigolo was 6.97.
I think it's better than just a Gigolo.
Yeah, I think this might be right in our third. I mean, 7 is wide open.
Yeah.
We could just slot it in at 7.
Yeah.
It feels like a good 7.
So,
It's a little worse than the Curator, but not by much.
Yeah, the parts that are worse are basically.
so how much better than the Gigolo one is it? Because is it just 0.03 better?
It might be because what is it? As said, there are some fun and there's some fun stuff in there, like the taxi run around and the ninja raid and stuff. But it just the story just sort of like just falls into their lap. It just sort of happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they don't like. It's sort of like they go to Little Tokyo to look for
So yeah.
the kid, and
Okay.
then they fail, and then they go to Little Tokyo to look for the kid again, and then they succeed, and it's pretty close to 7. At best 7.2, I think.
We'll say 7. That's fine. So
So it's after a little bit of a rough spot there. It's starting to pick up a little bit again.
almost in time for werewolves and bullshit.
Well, we still got some work to do there. But
What's the next one?
the next one is episode 18, so we're coming in getting there, but this one is
22 is the last.
yeah, 22 is and this one is Vengeance.
Well, that tells me nothing.
Yeah, so prediction time. What do you think Vengeance is going to be about?
I will share with you the secret information of the thumbnail. It has Ellaby looking real mad in one thumbnail.
All right. So Ellerby at least exists in this episode.
Which is a good sign.
Yeah.
As mentioned before, perfect. Concept.
Somebody stole Ellery's chicken.
Is that going to be your guess too?
I mean, it's a good guess. It's a good guess.
We all know about him and his chicken, so.
I mean,
Or are the chickens back for LRB?
I'm betting.
Chickens and choppers.
I'll guess a little bit more seriously and guess it's something about his family.
Alright, so a convict escapes from prison with the intention of getting revenge on everyone who had to do with his arrest and conviction, including LRP. Yep. So, let's see here. The director, same director who directed The Curator.
Oh.
And Thin Blood.
Thin.
The one with Angie's sister.
Right.
Yeah, so he could be a fucking, like, slasher horror.
But he also directed Bad Planes.
Okay, never
So
mind.
it could be a slasher horror. Got it.
Yeah. Let's see, the writers, have they done anything? One of them wrote backup. The one who wrote the story wrote backup. Mm-hmm. And the one who did the teleplay also did the teleplay for Takeover.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's kind of just all over the place.
Yep.
So who knows? Giant question mark.
Yep.
Well, it is on the plus side. It'll be centered episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're down to the final 5 here of the first season. Been a real weird journey.
Indeed.
The final 5. It's the final countdown.
Of the final 5, epilogue is the next one.
Yeah.
I love it. Alright.
3 more episodes to go. Yeah.
Alright.